There's a heavy weight sitting on your chest right now, the crushing feeling that no matter how hard you push, how many hours you grind, the breakthrough you crave stays just out of reach. Every campaign, every pitch, every idea you pour your heart into feels like screaming into an empty room. Why do some campaigns explode overnight, tearing through markets and minds like wildfire, while others, just as passionate, just as sharp, fizzle out and get forgotten? What's the secret? What are they doing that you don't even realize you're missing? It's not about bigger budgets, glitz, or following the latest shiny trend shoved down your throat by the so-called experts. No, it's something far more primal, far deeper. It's the hidden truth about how human beings actually connect, breathe, and remember. It's the reason some messages slice through the noise and stay lodged in people's brains, while yours become just white noise, lost forever in a sea of sameness. Those iconic campaigns, they don't just sell products, they don't just tell stories, they tap into something raw, unfiltered, something underneath the skin of modern marketing complacency. They break rules without begging for permission, because they understand something the rest of the world seems hell-bent on forgetting. People don't want to be sold to. People want to be seen, to be understood, to be sparked awake from the boring, scripted, sleepwalking existence that the world wants to trap them in. If your campaign still sounds like a corporate memo dressed up with flashy graphics, you've already lost. The battle is never for attention. It's for reverence, for genuine connection, for that flicker of recognition that says, "This was made for me." Here's the brutal truth. Your current marketing, the one you keep tweaking and optimizing by the book, might be killing your potential without you even knowing. It's feeding into comfort, conformity, and the trap of safe ideas that have zero soul. The system wants to turn you into a gear in their machine, not a blazing force that challenges everything. You're drowning in cliches and crutches, thinking that more data, more analytics, more testing is the answer. But iconic campaigns, they don't emerge from data dashboards. They scream from the edges, where discomfort lives, where people reject the rules and expectations shoved down their throats, where true rebellion takes root. If your campaign doesn't unsettle you, shake you to your core, and demand you rethink everything you thought you knew about marketing, then it's not iconic. That tension you're feeling, that itch deep inside, it's your greatest ally, your signal to stop playing safe and start creating something that hits people where it hurts and lifts them where they hope to fly. Every founder, every leader, every professional watching right now knows this pain. The world tells you to fit in, be reasonable, avoid risks, stay within the lines. But your spirit rebels. You don't want to just exist. You want to transform, you want to ignite. Now imagine a campaign that not only grabs attention, but holds it. Like a magnet pulling people closer, exposing every fear they've buried, every longing they've hidden, and lighting a fire so bright they can't help but follow it. Iconic campaigns don't just communicate, they incarnate. They become a mirror that reflects the chaos and beauty inside us all, a call to arms for anyone who's tired of the dull, the mediocre, the watered down. This is the raw material your marketing must seize if you want to transcend the noise. Here's what most marketers get wrong. They treat customers like targets. They obsess over sales funnels and conversion rates, while forgetting these are people with wildly complex emotions, fractured attention spans, and stories that demand real resonance. When was the last time your campaign made someone stop breathing for a second? Made them question who they are? Made them feel like you actually get them? If you're honest, probably never. And that's exactly why those iconic campaigns crush it. They don't start with the product. They start with a fracture in reality. A wound or a hope that lives inside the audience and screams for healing or change. So how do you get there? First, ditch the rulebook. Stop designing campaigns that tick boxes for your boss or chase meaningless KPIs. Instead, dare to create something infectious, something that sings exactly to the nervous system of your tribe. You need to find that one raw human truth your audience fears to admit but secretly craves. It could be fear of failure, a desperate hunger for freedom, a deep craving to be understood beyond their role or title. Those iconic campaigns do not dilute these truths, they amplify them, showing the messy, beautiful, painful edges of being human. And when you let your marketing speak that raw language, your audience feels it. They recognize it. Your message no longer feels like a broadcast. It becomes a lifeline. Next, embrace emotional risk. If everyone's telling you to stay professional, to keep it simple, to follow best practices, run the other way. The campaigns that change the game aren't written by committees making safe choices. They're crafted by creators who are willing to look uncomfortably in the mirror and say, "This is what we really believe. This is what matters. This is the story that will connect, even if it scares us." Authenticity is a muscle. It requires sacrifice. But it's the only way to wake the dormant human spirit behind every click and impression. Make your audience feel something so deeply that they want to be part of your story, not because you sold them on it, but because they believe in it. Also, abandon the obsession with perfection. Iconic campaigns don't shine because they're flawless, but because they feel alive. They breathe and pulse with real humanity. That means incorporating imperfection, tension, and contradiction. It means telling stories that provoke discomfort, but also hope. Stories that surprise, but also promise transformation. People don't love polished lies. They crave messy truths they can lean into and wrestle with. When you accept this, your campaign stops being a bland broadcast and becomes a living conversation, an invitation for your audience to participate in what you're building. Another secret lies in the network, the radical power of connection. Iconic campaigns are never solo acts. They ride on the synergy of aligned individuals who refuse to settle. Your marketing isn't just for the masses, it's for the few who dare to break free and push boundaries. That's who you want to reach. They are your tribe, the burners and the builders, the misfits who know that to rewrite reality, they need a fire to rally around. Build your campaign not just to talk at people, but to weave them into a movement, a current so powerful it can't be ignored or controlled. These sparks together become a wildfire. You don't need every eye, you need the eyes that burn. It's not enough to promise your audience freedom while chaining your message to empty buzzwords or glossy slogans. True liberation is messy and ruthless. Your campaign should reflect that grit and refusal to settle. You want people to feel the discomfort of breaking free, the thrill of unlearning everything they thought they knew, and stepping into a new version of themselves. When your marketing embodies that energy, your audience won't just click or watch, they'll commit. They'll become part of something bigger than themselves, something real and lasting. Think about the legendary campaigns that refused to die in people's memories, the ones that broke through every glass ceiling, defied every norm, and set new standards. They blasted through the illusion of comfort and conformity and revealed a raw, electric truth staring back at everyone watching. This is what you're after. To create a campaign that slices through the noise, you have to dare to be rare, to be unapologetically disruptive and deeply personal all at once, to stand in the tension between destruction and creation, tearing down the old stories and lighting the path for what's next. You already know the world lies. It tells you freedom is achievable through neat steps and quick wins, but mostly it rewards sameness and punishes originality. The way to beat that? Stop looking for validation in outdated formulas. Stop trying to fit your campaign into a mold designed to process people like machines. Instead, craft messages that breathe the fire of autonomy, that value your audience as sovereign beings capable of transformation. Align your ideas with those few who refuse to obey the status quo, because it's only in that fierce alignment that true power lives. Marketing isn't about convincing everyone. It's about inviting the few who burn to join you. In the end, iconic campaigns are not accidents or strokes of luck. They are forged by those who stare down the abyss of uncertainty and refuse to blink. They are born from burning questions, from refusing to settle for the easy or the expected. And they do one breathtaking thing above all. They speak directly to the liberation each person craves, the deep hunger to break free from the chains no one dared to name. Your campaign can be that. Your campaign must be that. The fire that will set your campaign apart is already inside you. Stop hiding it beneath layers of caution and best practices. Channel it into every word, every image, every frame. Make your marketing not a whisper, but a roar that moves people out of their numbness and into movement. Because the world doesn't need more noise. It needs more sparks. More blazing, reckless, beautiful sparks that refuse to be tamed, that refuse to be silenced. That's what legendary campaigns know, and that's the power waiting for you if you dare to claim it.